Okay. Oh, there it is. We on. No countdown.
See if we get some people start popping up here with us.
Hey.
We do not own the rights to any of this music. Anything played and anything heard, we do not own the rights to it. Let that be known first. Whoa.
Hot step up, murderer.
Stop.
Oh, Joe, you muted yourself. Oh, yeah, rubbing like that. Oh,
I know. I muted myself on purpose.
Okay.
Trying something out. So how y'all been doing this week, man?
Good.
Man, I'm excited. This is my last full week of class.
Oh, good.
That's cool. Once again, YouTube, Facebook, we do not own the rights to this music. We do not own the rights to this music. All right? It's just us chilling for right now. So the week has been kind of crazy, man. I mean, we had a whole lot of stuff happen right near the end of last week to now. So from last Thursday to this Thursday, it's been kind of crazy. Very crazy. I don't have any business announcements other than y'all please go out and support all of your black businesses. Support each and every one of your black businesses. Black businesses, step your games up and be very professional. Please. People, when you go in there, please don't think you're going to get a discount because it's a black business or you may know the owner. If your friends got a business, please go support their business. You support Gucci. You support Dolce & Gabbana. You support Mercedes-Benz. Please go support your people. That's all I got to say for now with that. So what y'all want to talk about? We had a whole lot of stuff happening. Where we going to start with this?
Man,
let's start with the election. Topic.
You don't just go straight in. You going right in. You're not even going to wait, huh?
Let's get it out of the way.
You just go ahead and get it out of the way and go right in. First of all, I like everybody looking at the sweatshirt. It's kind of dope. I like it.
68
Olympics. You know who was doing. But go ahead. Since you want to talk about this election, how you feel about this election? Talk to me.
I'm excited. Just excited about it. I'm glad it's almost over. It's not quite over, but it's over. And it's just gonna be interesting to see how everything turns out in January for the inauguration, if it happens.
Okay. So now, I know everybody knows Mr. Orange Face is whining, acting like a 12-year-old, like, you know, it's my basketball, and since you didn't pick me to play, I'm gonna take it and go home. You all didn't pick me, you know. He whining. He said he's not gonna leave, bro. I mean, really, like, where they do that at, right? Like, how do you just say, can't remove me? I'm not being removed. It's fun because he does have some legitimacy in that, you know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, it seems as though Trump has dismantled our whole faith and belief in democracy. And what we did not know as it relates to that democracy is that a standing president could actually protest his leaving the office if he actually wanted to. So we didn't know that. So a lot of guys just went along kind of like with the flow.
Yeah.
And true to his form, man, this guy is totally against the grain when it comes to being a president. Like everything that you thought a president was, he is not that. And everything that you thought politics was, he has shown it not to be that. So it's going to be interesting how it's going to play out. I'm like Michael Jackson in Thriller. I got the popcorn. I'm like, what's going to happen next?
What's going to happen next?
Yeah.
For real, because it's crazy, man. Like even election night, I was like, why are these people even on? Because it's not going to be decided tonight. Yeah.
But see, what's crazy to me is how the dude said he came out right away and was like, all right, we can stop counting. I'm in the lead. We win. I was like, dude. And then he was getting pissed because he was saying, but we were leading and all his supporters are saying that. I'm like, that's like a basketball game, dude. At halftime, we was up by 50. End of the game, we lose by 10. I mean, they came back. And you told your people to go to the polls, not to mail anything in. So only common sense would tell you, if I'm directing the majority of my people to go to the polls, most of the poll stuff is going to be my people, or it's going to be somewhat balanced. But I'm going to know that if they're listening to me, the stuff to be counted on the back end is not going to be them, because they didn't go. They didn't mail in stuff. They didn't do early. They went the day of the polls. So, and I want people to understand, for me, it's not necessarily a black and white thing, and it's not a Democrat Republican thing. I am Democratic, and I usually vote across the board. But if somebody's a good candidate and is the best person, they're the best person. I'm not gonna say that I would just change my vote from Democrat to that. That's not what I'm saying, and that could happen. But this dude is not presidential. He's not a leader of any sort. He's incompetent. He's not intelligent. He acts like a a-hole. We got to watch our words on the Porch discussion. But he acts, and so therefore he should not be a president. It's about him and his character, his integrity, who he is, what he stands for. And then we got a whole lot of people that look like us that's endorsing him and running behind him. Okay, I'm not gonna say you shouldn't run behind him, because he's a white man. No, but you can see the dude is, if he ain't a racist, he's stirring racist stuff up. So why would you black? How can you like that? So I'm calling them the used to be black folk. And I want them all to understand again right now, live on Front Porch Discussion. I got time for 4 years. So when Biden's sitting there, I'm gonna wear y'all out every chance I get, man. That's crazy.
See, the problem is that people don't understand like the entire process of it. So the traditional gesture is, after a president is announced, they're supposed to do a gesture to say that I'm conceding the race. And when that is done, then the steps will follow. But because he has not done that, as president, he still holds on to the power. So he can now file lawsuits to say, I didn't get these mail-in ballots, I don't want them. So he can file all these lawsuits, and all this can happen, and it can actually stop the inauguration in January. Because what'll happen is it'll go to the House of Representatives. And then once it goes to the House of Representatives, it's like the election never even happened.
It's like election part 2.
Part 2, right.
Where the popular people can't get involved, where what we say doesn't matter. It's
not going to matter. So what happens is they take it to the House of Representatives. Once it gets to the House of Representatives, it will either, now how does it go? The House of Representatives, they can't vote for it in the House of Representatives. No. So what happens is that there's more red, it goes to the state. So basically, if he says I don't concede this, then the votes now will be like almost like wiped out. Yeah. And then the states will be in charge of the electoral vote. Well, the votes, not just the electoral, but the popular and the electoral vote. And the other problem is that there are more red states than there are blue states. So yeah, it's a problem. It's a serious problem.
It's a problem. I think, overall the whole political thing is a crazy charade that is played upon people. But it is what it is. I'm also worried about what's going to happen as it relates to COVID and that instrumentation, because that vaccine, they're pushing it too hard for me, and it doesn't matter. I think who the president is, they're gonna push that.
Well, it's a money issue, so they're gonna push it.
So that's what's worrying me.
Yeah. And I honestly think that they're like, okay, let's send the educators back to school, back into the school buildings. Let's send these kids back into the school buildings, and then we'll say we have to get vaccinated in order to stay in schools. And I think that that's going to become the issue, because we're going to have educators like, I'm not taking that. You got parents like, I'm not giving my child that vaccine. So I think a lot of issues are going to come up with that. I know I'm not. I'm an educator. I'm not saying. I don't mean anything else. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm the thing with the kids going back to school, I don't really have a say so. I wish I did, but every time I look at whatever solution they can come up with, I don't see a clear one that's going to keep kids safe, keep parents safe, and keep teachers safe. Because if you start looking around the country, you see our numbers are going up. If you look at the places where kids have gone back to school, there's been some serious incidents. Some lady in Fayetteville, a teacher in Fayetteville, just passed away. What I'm afraid is going to happen is you're going to have teachers say, all right, I'm going into retirement. You're going to have people say, I ain't coming back. And then we're going to have a shortage. And we already got a shortage across the country, but it's going to be worse because people are like, I'm not coming in that school building. And see, the thing with people saying, oh, well, kids don't really get it. That's not true. Anybody can get it. Dogs get it. Everybody's been getting it, right? So the thing is that kids are more likely to be asymptomatic than older people. So they sitting there, they got it. They don't have symptoms. You don't see no fever, nothing. But they in there spreading it.
You see, the problem that I have is that these representatives and all these people that are not in the school buildings don't understand what it is to be in a school building 24/7, whether it is high school, middle, elementary, even in the college level. But that elementary level, they like this. Coughing and stuff. So I mean, it's just a lot goes into it, and I don't think they really understand it and comprehend that you are really putting these kids' lives and these teachers' lives at risk.
You're an elementary teacher.
Yes, I teach kindergarten.
No, how hard do you think it would be for you to have your class? We could take the class you had last year or the class that you before it hit. If they had to wear masks all day long, what's that going to look like? And for you to try to social distance them, what is that going to look like?
It's not. They're going to be like, let me see your mask. Your mommy got you a Mickey Mouse. Let's switch. They're going to switch. They're going to be twirling in this. It's going to be on the floor. They're going to be picking it up. It's not going to happen. I don't care how many hand sanitizer stations you have, how many wipes you have. It's just not going to happen. And then the other thing is the bathroom. Like, people don't understand. Like, we would literally have to put a bathroom schedule to have our kids go to the bathroom. And then you have to have somebody go in there and clean up after, because now, the virus lies on surfaces. So you got the door handles, you got they 5-year-old, and then I gotta teach. Like, it's too much. I can't be a CDC supervisor and an educator at the same time.
This is my question I have for about the virus. Like, what is it about this virus, unlike any other virus, that have people so fearful of just getting ill? Like, what is it about this one?
I think because people are dying.
First, it's new. There is no vaccine, and people are dying at alarming rates. Now, really, if we really look at it, and I could be wrong, I haven't been hearing the number of deaths from it like when it first hit. So I don't know what has changed about it, but you're not hearing that either they're not reporting it or whatever, but you're not hearing the deaths like you did before. But you're hearing people that are getting it, and you're hearing people that getting kind of sick or having a few symptoms and they're coming through. But when it first hit, it was like, oh, you got it, you're gonna die. It was like you were gonna die. So, and it's still a possibility, just like with the flu, you could die from the flu, but just not at the same type of rate as this. This is different. It's new. We don't have anything to try to combat it. The best thing we've had was stay out the street, stay home. That was it. Even now with our masks and stuff, masks help out. They protect you and they protect other people from you, and do the social distancing and all of that. But the numbers are going up. But when we're keeping our tails in the house, the numbers were going down. So some ain't like no.
Well, I think what happened was, so it first happened in March. So when it first hit, everybody was like, people didn't want to go outside. They wore gloves. Like I would go to the grocery store in the parking lot. You would see blue gloves all in the parking lot. Like people were really like, oh God, this is, and if you watch the news, like I had to cut CNN off because I was that person. Like I was watching CNN every day, all day, because I was just watching the numbers go up. And I had to stop watching it. I was like, yeah, this is too much. And I think that once they started putting it in phases and lifting the phases, people mentally were like, oh, like it's a brand new day. Oh, we can go outside and we can get together, have cookouts and stuff like that. And I just don't think that the CDC gave us all the correct information. People got lax with it and were like, oh, we're going to be fine. And the numbers have gone back up. So the major problem is that we're in the middle of flu season. So now you have flu season, plus you have the, COVID. And I don't think we know enough about COVID. We hear things like it lasts on services, a couple of hours, or it doesn't, or all you need is your Lysol. And so it's just, I think it's just, I don't know. You just gotta protect yourself. My thing is, as long as you keep your immune system boosted up and you just follow the protocol, I think you'll be okay.
Yeah. I'm like I said, I'm questionable on us on this slope of, government. Can you kind of help us stay safe, because we're unsure of how to stay safe? Help us. And when you kind of get into those laws and legislation and bureaucracies, man, that's a real slippery slope. But I'd like to make a point back on the election. The point that Joe was making about Trump and all the stuff that's going on. I was kind of upset on the issue of, what they was doing with Black women, and I want to say her name wrong. Kamala. How you say her name?
Kamala.
Yeah, like okay, now Black woman, you got something to celebrate. And I thought that was undeserving, because black women historically have exceeded, all obstacles.
Yeah.
So now she's the one.
Yeah.
You want to do like, okay, Black girl swag. You should have been had that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, I took issue with, okay, now we're gonna use her as woman empowerment.
I get that. I can see that.
What happened to that? I thought we still had us right, Black woman, but anyway, I'm off. I took offense to that.
I think I can see where you're coming from with that. I just think by her getting in that position, and us as Black people always being downtrodden, people always trying to take stuff away from us, or not shine the light on us when it's supposed to be shining on us. Mm-hmm. That once she got into there, that it's just like when Obama became president, and he wasn't actually the very first Black president. I mean, we weren't called the United States at the time, but there was another Black man that led the country. So kind of get excited and it's one of us, it's something that looks like us. And it's overjoyed. But like you said, there should have been celebrations going on all along. I mean, Shirley Chisholm was, ran for president. We should have been holding on to that. I mean, she didn't become president, but she was there. She was in position. So, I just want to give a huge shout out to our HBCUs, because I think that was just another stamp onto our HBCUs, this whole election thing. With Abrams down in Georgia, Harris, what's my girl's name? Mayor of Atlanta.
Brooks? No, was it Brooks?
Nah.
I don't know.
I can't even call her name right now. But you're starting to see all these people come into the political arena that are coming from these HBCUs. And like we've known all along, HBCUs educate us. We talked about that, the last thing we had, how they prepared us and how they gave us, I don't want to say hope, but I guess that's what I'm saying. They gave us hope. Yeah. They gave us They gave us tools that we can use in any arena, whatever we were going into. They prepared us not only for our academics and whatever field you're going into, but just life in general across the board, because they know what we're going to face as Black people. And so we're over. And I use Central's Law School as an example a lot, because if you go to Central's Law School, and I heard you go from Central's Law School, then I know you know the law. You didn't patty cake and play to get through that. And people will be amazed at how respected that law school is. Oh yeah, Angela Golden told me Keisha Bottoms. That's it, Bottom. Thank you.
Yeah, my Keisha.
I couldn't think of her last name for no reason. I don't know what was going on with me. Oh, thank you too, Dana Brisbane. She told me Keisha Bottoms. But when Stephanie was in law school, I was working in the mall, and a young white guy came in, and he was looking for a suit because he had done an interview or whatever, and he was going to start working at this law firm in New York. And at the time, they was going to start him out at like 98,000, like 95, 98, something like that, fresh out of law school. You know, he went to Duke's law school. And I was like, oh, you go to law school? So we just talking. And I was like, yeah, well, you know, my girlfriend goes to Central's law school. He fell out. Oh, my God. She goes to Central? She goes, oh, my God. I know she knows the law. Because what happens at Central is you take a test. It's like one of us going to take a social studies test in 8th grade or in high school. You get the information, you took your notes, you go home, you study, and you get down. Well, at Duke and those, and I could be wrong, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but from what this guy was telling me, they kind of treat them a little like paralegals a little bit. You know, they get a little flexibility with the test and pulling out some information and kind of Central, bro. You going in there, John, raw. You got to know what you're talking about. And right. You know, I will say my wife did know the law, man. She did. She knew what she was talking about.
Joe, like we always had the capacity, man, as Black people. We just never had, you know, all of the opportunity.
Yeah.
It, man. We always had the ability to do.
Well, I think just at HBCUs anyway, we always kind of get discredited. And I think a lot of the HBCUs have wonderful programs. These kids are coming out and, you know, they're getting their doctors, they're going into college, they're starting their own businesses and things like that. And we've never gotten the credit for that. So now you have someone who looks like us, who is in one of the highest leaderships in America and is a woman and she is Black. So for a lot of us, we're like, okay, this is what we're looking for. Yes, Michelle Obama was definitely in the White House, and she was definitely someone that we could all look up to as women. But to have someone like Kamala Harris in a position, it's like, it kind of makes you go, now we got work to do. And then you have all these other women like Stacey Abrams, and you have Keisha Bottoms, and you know, they all attended these HBCUs. And I just think we sometimes get discredited, like I said before, because we attended the HBCU, but we are some bad mama chamas. We bad.
Mama chamas.
Man, we bad.
Mama chamas.
No, look. Tiffany Dawn Stokes said, I did NCCU law for 1 year and still know contracts law very well. See, they train you over there. You got to get it in. Either you know it or you don't know it. It's like in the story. They're not playing.
And I think HBCUs get you ready for white America.
Yeah.
They definitely do. What you should look like when you walk into an office and how you should speak when you go into an office. Because as soon as you walk in there, they already got a stereotype in their mind. Let's see how she's gonna talk. Let's see what she's gonna do with it. But if you're knowledgeable and you know the content and you can go in there, and sometimes they sit there and be like, damn, you know, she may really know her stuff.
I'm just excited to see what's going to happen now, because, you know, those of us that went to HBCUs and some of us that did not, we had an affinity for these schools. We like the homecomings, we like the socializations, we like all that type stuff, right? And so now you're seeing how, you know, when our parents came through, that was the stronghold. And if you were going to go pro in a sport, or if you want to go into law, medicine, whatever, they definitely came from HBCU for the most part. So then they started pulling out athletes because they saw how exciting the game was and how great these athletes were, and giving them scholarships and going here and going there. And you would always hear these arguments in barbershops and other places like, just imagine if they all went to HBCU. Imagine if they did this. Imagine if we could hold on to that talent, what we would look like. Well, we're starting to see a shift. We're starting to see a shift because now, like I said, we're seeing these people in the political arenas that are coming from HBCUs and proud of it and letting the world know that that's where they've been. Now we're starting to see some of these top athletes, especially in basketball, you know, especially right before or right after Corona hit, I'm going to go to this school.
Yeah.
I'm challenging my brothers to pick a school or to come with me. So now, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to Howard. I'm gonna go to A&T. I'm gonna go to Central to play ball. Lavelle and those made a move for Bronny James, LeBron's son, to come to Central. So now these black schools aren't being shy to try to recruit these guys. You used to be, oh, you know, he gonna go UCLA, he gonna go, you know, da. But now they're like, no, I'm gonna throw my name in the hat too. I'm gonna throw our name in the hat. And we're starting to see these guys starting to say, shoot, yeah, I'll give them a shot. And I'm just excited to see this shift. And then you see Deion Sanders at Jackson State as the head coach. You know what's going to happen with that. Who would want to play for prime time? That's if you're playing a D-back position, safety, you in the secondary, you want to be with him. Because you got the NFL training and he's got the contacts.
Right.
So we're about to see a shift, y'all, and I think it's gonna be pretty good.
Joe, I will say something about that point, man. What's happening with the HBCUs? At least the one I'm affiliated with, man. What we finding out is that, you know, the culture is kind of being pushed out as more majority interests are coming to the university. So before we were kind of tailored to a certain audience. Now we're being more so tailored to a wider audience now. And being tailored to a wider audience, we're kind of losing a little bit of what I consider made us what we were, which is unfortunate, but it's a money thing, you know, kind of back to a point that was made earlier with Big Farm and the vaccine. Like, you know, it's about their money. HBCUs are having to pull on the purse strings a lot, a whole lot. And because of that, man, a lot of corporate sponsors are coming in with their own agendas. So support the HBCU. They need it.
Yeah. We definitely as alums need to give back to our schools and any other entities that are raising money for our schools.
Yeah.
I would also say we probably need to get involved as alumni, and you know, don't try to gauge your success based on somebody else's success. You know, because somebody might be making $2 million a year, and you may be like me. You're an administrator at a school or a teacher, and your bank account may not say that, but your influence and your wealth of knowledge and your experiences at that school speak volumes.
Yes,
so
sir.
reach out to the school and speak to some students, because somebody's going to be on that course that you were on. Somebody's going to want to do the job that you're doing, and you can reach back and help somebody. If you can put them in position to have a job, you know, let them know, put my name on the line. So I expect you to stand up to what our school taught us to do, and stand up for my name, if not for your own name, and you know, put people in a position to win, man. That's what we got to do. And I think
a lot of times, man, to like that professional development type stuff, man. A lot of times these kids, man, they just need some mental help, man.
Yeah.
Some psychological support.
Yeah.
And how to just deal with struggles.
Well, you know, this generation is different. You know, people, they said we were different.
Man.
And I understand them saying that, and when they said that, because we were new, but we held on to a lot of those old school values. These cats now.
Man, look. I'm holding on seriously old school values. I didn't know how closed-minded I was when I started talking to these young people and the stuff that they're going through. Like, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. But they have a lot more to deal with mentally and socially than we did when we were coming up. And a lot of them do not have the skill set to work through those emotional struggles. So they, you know, try to get dependent on other things than they should. And I just, you know, it's going to be a whole lot of messed up people in about 20 years.
But what I don't understand about them is a lot of them, they don't have common sense. Like,
Because their reality is distorted.
They don't know how to do simple stuff.
Their reality is distorted.
Yeah.
They grew up on social media. They grew up on reality TV shows, and they locked in like that's what I want. That's what I can do, and that's not reality.
Joe, I said zero coping skills.
Yeah, I did an activity in class, man, where I had all of them put their cell phones in the front of class.
Oh, that didn't last long. They
actually did it because they got a grade based on how long they set their phone there. But what the thing was, they sat in class and didn't say nothing to each other.
They don't know how to socialize. When it was open and people would go out to eat, everybody would be at their table like this.
But so look, afterwards I asked them, I was like, so why y'all ain't say nothing? They was like, because I didn't have nobody to talk to.
Because they can hide behind social media. Like your confidence will be boosted behind your social media. So I could be that boss chick on social media, but in the reality, I'm just weak. I ain't got no self-esteem. I don't know how to talk to people. I'm shy. So their reality is distorted, and it's so messed up because it's just like, what do you do? Like, what do you do?
Right. It's definitely distorted, like, because everything in your phone kind of supports, your beliefs, your habits, everything. So when you leave that phone and somebody might go against you, it's like your whole world is shattered. Like you can't.
You can't socialize. You don't even know how to look somebody in their eye and have a conversation and talk to them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, bruh. They can't do it.
Hey, hold up. What's wrong with bruh? I say bruh a lot.
Yeah, but you're a grown man.
And I know how to talk properly.
Right.
I can pull out my SAT words.
Right.
Yeah, they're a funny bunch, man, dealing with them.
But they're great kids. They have great potential, but like you said, a lot of them are just emotionally broken, and they need that support to really become these functional adults in society.
Right.
And it's scary because it's like the timing of it. Like we're in critical time.
What would y'all say if I told you them using their phone? Because I use mine way too much too. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm on social media. And I was wondering why, right?
No more phonophobia.
I was wondering why. I mean, I got people up here agreeing. I was on it a lot before. Then my wife passed. I found myself going to it because I didn't have to think. I'm just scrolling. And I wasn't necessarily reading stuff, just kind of passing time away, especially since I wasn't sleeping. But I was digging deep. Why is it that we just keep going to these phones like this? And I will tell everybody that's listening, please go to Netflix and watch The Social Dilemma. I found out why.
What you got, Joe?
It's designed that way.
It is.
Everything that they put on your phones and on the social media is designed to make you stay on it.
Why do you think when you get on social media and you may go to Amazon and put in weight, you want to purchase weights, then the next thing you know, all your advertisements become gym stuff.
So the longer that they can keep you on,
yes,
and give you some of those commercials and advertisements of things that you're looking for, the possibility of sales goes up. So what they did is they instituted the like button. Get these likes. Everybody wants to be liked, right? Everybody wants people to engage with them, think that their shoes are whatever. So you get addicted looking to that like button. Then they started doing, like, when you type people text or even in Facebook or whatever, you start seeing those bubbles float. That means a person's responding. You're waiting for that response. That's to hold you there. I got to stay there. I got to see this response. Then you're going to respond back, and it's going to keep that back and forth going. So they got so much stuff, man. The like buttons, the boomerang stuff. They test this stuff, and they have psychologists, people really that get into the brain.
They study this.
They're stimulating you. They hire them for these businesses, man. And that's how they get this. That's how they get us. They get us trapped. They get us trapped.
Well, it's even the lighting on your phone, like the actual light, the blue light. Like we don't see it. Even like with our with my elementary kids, it's a lot of screen time, and that blue light that comes out, the blue light that comes out, it affects those kids that cannot function and are like ADD or ADHD. It triggers something in them. I don't know what it is, and they can't stay focused on it because you're looking at the screen all day long. So if you're a child looking at the screen, imagine as an adult, you on a computer all day, then you're grabbing your phone, you're on your social media. It's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah, they know your habits and everything. And you see what Tanya just said, she could whisper to her son that she wants to lose weight, and a bunch of weight loss stuff starts popping up. Cut that Siri off. Siri listening to everything. She hears everything, man. And she hears everything. Yeah, and I'm convinced of that. But that, like you're saying with the kids, I was never diagnosed with ADHD, but I know I can't pay attention after a certain amount of time. And it's just proven that most people after 45 minutes, they're lost anyway. That's on average. That's the average human being.
30.
After 45 minutes, that's why they try to get teachers. You can't lecture the whole time, because you start lecturing, they checking out. I know I'm checking out.
Yeah, let's not get into attention span. It seems like everything getting shorter and shorter. Man, I listened to a Herbie Hancock song. You know that song was about 15 minutes.
You about to die.
One song, Herbie Hancock. Yeah, that was like, man. I remember, back in the day how they used to have them extended versions. At least it'd be about 7-8 minutes or so.
Oh, nah, you get Rapper's Delight. When that first came out, you got it then. That seemed like it was 20 minutes long.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So let me ask you guys. So the other day on my phone, I got a message and it said that it wanted to track me. Like I had to click the button to track me. It would track me to let me know who had COVID in the area, and it would let you know. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what in the world? Like, is it safe or isn't it safe? But they're tracking us, y'all. They tracking us, y'all.
Yeah. It's called the GPS thing. That GPS thing you got in your phone that tell you like how far you done jogged or whatever, and they track you out. Yeah, that same little thing. Yeah, that's tracking you. Everywhere you go. It probably can tell you where home is. Like, see this spot all the time. Here. She spend a lot of time in this one spot. But yeah, unfortunate, like all the information that is absorbed from your phone. I even, like back in my class, I asked them, do they know why do they call it a smart device? And most of the students have no idea why they call it a smart device. They would normally say it's because of the information you can get from it. But I'm like, nah, it's because of the information you get from you. That's why they call it smart.
Yeah, they tracking your algorithm, whatever the word, algorithms and everything. What you doing? How long you want it? It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. So, but it's unfortunate, man. I got a student that wants to figure out a way that you can monetize your own data. So what, you got companies selling your own data to these third-party companies. Is it a way that you can be a repository of your own data and then sell that yourself to companies? They might be trying to target a older age black male, and I could be like, yeah, he got all my data. You want all the data on an older age black male? I can give it to you. Since they after mining data all of the time.
That's smart if they allow them to do it.
Yeah, it's crazy. So
individual.
How do y'all feel about the U.S. potentially moving with COVID happening and the corn shortage happening? They feeling as though the dollar bill, that type of transaction may allow the spread of COVID. So potentially, let's move to all digital currency.
Get out of here. No.
I mean, but the thing about it is they're doing it now.
Yeah.
Some businesses don't take cash. You gotta get your phone out and you gotta hold your phone up to the thing, and
so
that's that.
I'm not feeling that.
Digital currency, man.
No.
But it's weird because I don't carry. I've never had cash on me ever.
Oh, so you already there then?
Yeah, but yeah. I don't care. So like, if I go somewhere and I got to park and it's $10, I'm like, man, I gotta go to the ATM machine. Like I never have cash.
Nah, I try to keep some of them presidents folded up in my pocket. It's just it's something about it. It's not to say that I always have cash, but it's
right. You
know,
know,
that money open. You know, I'm old school, man. I want to see that dough. Count that off. And a lot of times that'll stop my spending because like, nah, that's gonna make these numbers go down. Let me put this back in my pocket. Exactly. No, it's not necessary. It's a want. I don't need it.
No, you got to lower that person-person contact. It's a safety risk. You exchanging that dollar bill.
Well, see, they ain't gotta have to worry about that. They lower their prices, then I wouldn't have to give them no money. Then we can both be good.
He said, "Be good." And that's another thing I hate about everything that's happening with the COVID. And I'm not sure if it's a president that can save it. You know, it's really putting a strain on all the small businesses, man.
Yeah.
They struggling.
Yeah, this needs to hear, man, because it's affecting people's livelihoods, like you said, the small businesses.
Yeah,
they've been thriving, been doing very well. And you got to start looking at entertainment and entertainers. A lot of them that are stars, I guess they've made a whole lot of money, so they're comfortable right now if they've done wise things with their money, saved, invested, and done stuff like that. But you got some, they ran around and started hopping on the newest Rolls Royce Wraith, got 30 chains on, all the other kind of stuff, and then now they can't get out and they can't make money. It's hard.
Can't make no tours.
No, I can't make the tours. Can't do it. It's stopping their money. So
man.
But I hope
are we gonna ever get back to normal? Like, okay, I know it's the new normal. Okay, that's okay, but I'm talking about like the old normal.
No.
Oh, Travis said promoters too. You ain't got to tell me about promoters, dog. Trav, it's hurting me.
Yeah,
too.
like I say, man, it's painful. But yeah, like, are we ever gonna get back to the time where it was promoters can promote the live events? I can go to the live event. I can go to the bar and drink and hug the person next to me.
Fauci said spring, summer 2021 at the earliest, at the latest 2022.
But I honestly don't think, I think because we have been in this pandemic for so long now, when everything is over, I think a lot of people are just going to be very cautious of going out in big crowds, like going to NFL games and NBA games. Like everything is impacted by this, and it's generating money.
It's going to be split down the middle. You're going to have those that's super cautious. Then you're going to have those that's going to be bug wild. They're going to try to do anything and everything. And they probably, some of them are going to hurt themselves and kill themselves from overload. They're going to try to be at every party, every movie theater, every restaurant, every happy hour. They're going to try to get out, drink, smoke, and everything else. And they probably just going to burn themselves out.
But I think, too, that this pandemic has allowed us to bring back the family structure. Because the family structure is like totally is gone. People don't eat together anymore. I mean, you have to communicate with people in your home because you're home all day long. So I think it has brought a sense of that back. But it's going to be an adjustment, I think, for everybody. Yeah, it's just going to be an adjustment.
Yeah, it's going to be an adjustment. But like you said, COVID has been horrible, but it's also brought out a whole lot of good things. Family values, families coming back together, people being a little more considerate of each other's needs and wants and being a little more respectful of each other. A whole lot of good has come out of this. People are getting rest. You always running, work, this, that, whatever. It's made you slow down. People have started to pick up their passions again. People have started to dream again. I'm doing this job, but I always wanted to do this. Now it's the opportunity to sit down and kind of work on those things. People are getting in shape. They're exercising, they're walking, they're trying to get better. If it's not just for COVID, just for themselves and their family members and their well-being, and to be here for a little bit longer. So I think it's a whole lot of good that has come out of it. And to keep our mindset straight and to keep ourselves straight, we need to talk about the good that we see and focus on that more so than the bad stuff that's happening. You know?
Yeah.
So, like the Trump stuff, just don't focus on him.
I would say, man, Trump has been the most entertaining president I've ever witnessed since I've been viewing presidents. Like, he was always in the news. It was like an entertainment show. It was like, what's gonna happen next on the Trump saga?
Yeah, he boy, that dude is wild to me, man. He wild, man. He'll say and do anything.
We had an entertainer as president, man. He was like Ronald Reagan times 10, and it was really all about attention and media savvy.
Oh, that dude, he's an egomaniac.
Yeah, it was.
He's. But I don't like the way what gets me is the level of lying. The level of lying that this dude has. I never knew one person could have so many lies in them. And I know a lot of people that lie. This dude just flat. For 4 years, he's been telling you he has a health plan.
He is a narcissist at its best.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Yeah, man. He took advantage of his position, man. He was a president. Y'all gonna believe him. People gonna believe me. I'm the president.
He'll say anything. He'll say anything.
Hey, it was, man. Like I said, it was TV show to me. It was TV show, man. But the series is over, and like I said, now I'm like, it's a cliffhanger. Is he gonna go? Is he not gonna go?
This is like a reality show, though, right?
It's crazy.
It definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely crazy, but you know, it is what it is. But like I said, I'm COVID is the thing, man. I'm hating it. And like I said, the numbers went up. People were celebrating. You know, I was like, look at them super spreader events.
Here in
lockdown.
Here in Maryland, we went back down to phase 1. So everything here is at like 25% capacity.
That's what I'm saying. Like
everything, restaurants, gyms.
Well, I'm hearing that the governor of North Carolina is going to put us back in phase 1 once all this election stuff is out the way.
That's what I'm saying, man.
We're going back to phase 1. And see, when it goes to phase 1, that's going to hurt those small businesses Eric was talking about. It's going to slap them.
I also heard the news today that they are. Well, I know here in Maryland, they're running. The funding is gone. It's completely gone. So all those small business loans that they were giving out, like there's no money for it. So it's definitely going to be impacted. They're definitely going to feel it, and it's sad because some people have put, you know, their life savings into these small businesses, and you know we try to support them as much as we can, but it is just going to be. It's going to be some trying time.
Well, Trump about to give y'all that last stimulus check and try to get that black vote. Trying to get these people that last little bit of money.
Did you get a stimulus check? Did you get one? I didn't get one.
I got two.
I got two of them.
I did. I got two. I got that first one. I got the second round before they even put the second round out.
Wow,
that joint was in my mailbox. I was like, what is this for?
You want to know how much mine was? Mine was $56.42.
Stimulus.
Oh, you should have gone out and got a bottle of Hen with that.
I was like, what?
Yeah. Stimulus. Investment. So yeah, like that comment right there, 4 to 6 week shutdown. Come on. And my thing is like, we go shut down, they're gonna be like, you gotta have the vaccine to come back out. Like we're not even gonna play.
But think about this: when we were shut down, we were in the spring. You talking about shut down in the winter? So if it snows or gets icy, like we're in the house for 4 to 6 weeks in the wintertime. How the kids say, bruh, we're not gonna make it. Bruh, we're not gonna make it.
You see, that's where I fought your president. When this first hit, had he said, we're gonna go into this 4 to 6 week shutdown, because we all know once you get it or you suspect to have, you got to quarantine 14 days, right? Basically 2 weeks. Let's shut down for 6 weeks, give America time to go get their grocery items, all that stuff, and stock away. Those that don't have, let's try to contribute something to help them get, and we're gonna shut down. Then it wouldn't have been a spread. Everybody's quarantined. So whether you got it or not, you quarantine and you're not coming in contact with anybody that may have it. That's what like Bermuda did. Nobody in our country, Nobody leaves out our country. You couldn't.
Yeah, you know, Brandon is no cases. Yeah, you know, Brandon is over in Greece, so they shut down last Friday. So they didn't play. They played a game last week, but they have been actually playing the same team since their season has started because they're not allowed to travel from country to country. The borders are closed, so you can't go. But they are completely shut down. So on Saturday, like Sundays, nothing is open. Everything is shut down. Dang. And I just think we need to, you know, but as Americans, we spoiled, man. We so spoiled, and it's just like it's terrible. But they were saying on the news how again that they are getting ready to have, you know, the grocery stores are about to be no toilet paper, no paper towels, and things like that. I'm just like, who wants to go through that in the dead of winter, you know? So crazy.
I don't even like the news. They like a trailer happening. Guess what's coming? The grocery store gonna be jam packed. The hospital's gonna be filled up. All y'all gonna be sick.
I watch the news. I can't do it.
Yeah,
bad stuff, man. You know, I actually had a student of mine get shot and killed this past weekend, man.
Oh, great. Darn.
Yeah, the other day, yeah. That's the other thing I don't understand these cats. They you know, they Twitter, and it's always the social media beef that sets everything off. And the first thing they want to do is run and grab guns. Anybody can win with a gun. 5-year-old can win against me with a gun. And it kills me because they have no hand skills. I hate for one of them to jump on me because
nobody lose anymore, Joe. We won't have to lose. Everybody wins.
Now let me say this. So you know that since all this Trump stuff has been going on, and he got his little group out and the Trump supporter, there is no gun ammunition anywhere because the majority of the people have bought most of the ammunition up. If you apply for a gun license, where it was like a 3 to 4 week, now it's like a 7 to 8 week time before you can even get, hey, come in and purchase. Like everything is gone. So that part to me scares me.
It's scary.
Concerning. I'm not saying scared. Concerning.
Okay, it's concerning.
Yes.
In the sense that, you know, a lot of them are pushing for a race war that I don't think is going to happen. Right. And the reason I don't think it's going to happen is I'll just keep that to me. But I will say the ones that's the patriots and always running their mouth and they this, that, and the Klan, this, that, and third, they have done some degrading and terrible and horrible things to Black people and people of color throughout history. But they got a pack mentality. You don't ever see one of them by themselves popping off at the mouth like that. You don't ever see them rolling around. See, because what they're never going to do, they're not going to come into these Black neighborhoods. They don't like Black people, but they don't go into Black neighborhoods. And they definitely will not go into Black neighborhoods like, I'm like, you know what? I don't like Black people. I'm going to go get them. Mm-hmm. They're not going by itself. They ain't going to go 2 or 3. They're going to have to try to get an army. And they still not going to come into these Black neighborhoods. Now, they might catch somebody like me out here in my neighborhood walking or something and try to grab me and, you know, shoot me or strap me up or do something like that. You know, I consider that the punk way out. Because if you really want to get me, let's get me. Put your gun down and come get me. Come get me. Put your knife up. Come get me. Let's find out what's going to happen. But they don't, you know. So I don't respect any of them cats when they got out running their mouth and doing all that. You're always marching downtown in the safety of places. That's like the kid that's in school. You know, you work in school. Kids gonna fight. They gonna fight. Oh, they kind of mill around a little bit and posture. They drew a crowd. Now the crowd puts that battery in their back, and they might go ahead and fight. But when the security officer or the principal or the teacher comes, that's where they really get wild. They get wild when you start holding them and pulling them back. No, let me go. You had all this time before I got to fight, man. You didn't fight, and that's the way I look at these dudes. So I don't think we're gonna jump off into any race war. I hope not.
I hope not. We not ready for that. They got like
the other thing about that. That's the other thing. Yeah. You hear guys, you know,
they got missiles.
Guys talking all the time about what they got. Trust me, we don't have what they have.
You don't have the American army. That's the number.
you don't have what they.
But to your point, like I'm okay with, you know, a lot of people are fearful, like with the basically anarchy they feel is happening. They need to protect their home front.
Yeah. That's what most people are getting this stuff for.
Yeah.
I think you should. And I think women should too. We need to be told.
Yeah, women
and I don't have no problem with it. Told.
You want to go to the gun range.
Yes.
My wife made me get rid of mine, the one I had. Because I didn't grow up being into guns. I'm into knives. I will admit that. I love knives, but never really into guns like that.
I don't like guns.
I like up close personal. Yeah.
I don't like guns, but if I have to use it, I will.
I will tell you to get one, especially, being alone. You need to have that. I think my sister needs to have one. I think everybody should have one. And I had one. My mom and my wife made me get rid of it. They said my temper was too bad, and that just how I am. And I'm not going to disagree with them on that, but I just thought it needed to be here in the home. I had a lock for it and everything, so the kids couldn't get into it.
Right.
Travis said he's a collector. Trav, I need to holler at you. You need to get at me because I need something. But yeah.
Yeah, they nice to have one or two.
Yeah.
I think every woman should have one and be comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Handgun, shotgun.
Nice for you.
Yeah, definitely. It is
Gina says she's afraid of guns. Tanya said
I was too until I fired one off. I was like, oh.
That's one of your rights too. Like we push everybody into voting. Like you should exercise your right to own a gun. Like push people into that. Protect yourself. We haven't been the ones to want to stand our ground in that type manner.
Yeah. I saw recently where Florida has got a law passed. They had that what was it? What do they call that law?
Stand your ground.
Stand your ground.
Yeah.
They also got one now that will allow people to shoot rioters.
Oh.
And protesters. They just put that in place. So you can go protest in Florida if you want to.
Exactly.
Pop, just start.
I'm about to say, you might want to stay clear in Florida. It might be a misunderstanding. I thought he was protesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Joe, your sister called me and said she was going to come to the inauguration. I was like, nah, it's going to be cold. I think you should stay down North Carolina. I was like, it's going to be too many people out there. Just stay down North Carolina. She was like,
Tony Alfameo says she agrees with me about having a knife. Yeah, my dad gave me my first knife back in 4th grade. I've been carrying a knife ever since. And I'm not in school now as a student, but I will tell you, if they ever patted me down in school, they would have been so shocked. They would have been so shocked. And especially when wintertime came, we had our big coats on. I got that knife, straight razor in my boot. I got a knife in my backpack. I had my big hawk blade in my backpack. Run up on me if you wanted to. You might pat me down on a Sunday morning at church here now. Pat me down. I take my knife to church too.
Oh my God, no way.
It might jump off in there. It might jump off in you.
Hey, you'll never know how the spirit may move in there. What you use a sharpener with, Joe?
Lumbee Indians. I take my knife to the Lumbees.
Woo!
Sharpen my knives, man. And when I tell you they get them sharp, never seen nothing like it. I could cut air. And
yeah. Oh, that's one of them cuts. You don't even really feel it. You just see the blood running.
Yeah, you won't. It's just like a razor blade. If I hit you with it, I could probably take my knife and just press it against your skin, and it might open up.
Right? Yeah. No.
Man.
I cannot.
But yeah, I would definitely say defend yourself, take care of yourself. Kind of like we talked earlier, man. That health, that personal health is good, man. Particularly during this climate.
Yeah.
With the COVID.
I would tell everybody, get your vitamin D. Get your vitamin D.
Fresh ginger.
Get your ginger. Get your turmeric. Get your elderberry. Sea moss gel. Get your black seed oil. Get that vitamin C in you. Eat some fruits. Eat some vegetables. Try to get some exercise in.
Mm-hmm. Do that along with the mask.
Yeah, along with the mask. How you talking about? Not in the Lord's house, Joe. Lord's house. He has blessed each and every one of these knives.
It's a lot of stuff go up in the Lord's house.
Yeah. And I've seen a situation at my church before down home where not my knife, but a knife had to be shown to get some stuff to calm down. So that's in my mind. I was going in the right direction. I was going in the right direction.
I went to this church recently, man, and it was kind of like a Broadway show production, man. It was like lights flashing, man. It was like people jumping, people singing, man. It was like a Broadway production. I'm like, bro, this new church something else.
Yeah. Somebody say they love elderberry syrup. Y'all, I think we've taken up our front porch dwellers. We're the dwellers, and they're our guests.
Yes,
we've taken up enough of their time tonight.
Right.
I will encourage everybody to keep watching the progress. I'm not gonna say watch the news necessarily, but try to stay up on what's happening with this Trump situation, his supporters, and the way they're trying to manipulate the system. And when they're manipulating the system, they're doing it the right way. They're using the Constitution. They following it. That loophole that's in the Constitution. So you can't really knock them.
Man, what if this dude come back and still be president, man? That is gonna be crazy.
Joey, you need to share that YouTube video you sent.
Yeah, I'm gonna share it on my Facebook.
That's gonna be a serious
discussions group. So y'all have all your friends join the front porch discussion group.
Yeah.
Have them take a look at that, because I'm gonna put that Van Jones post up. He breaks it down exactly how this could possibly happen. But what we're gonna have to do, y'all, I believe in the law of attraction. I believe in the Lord. I believe in the universe and how it works. Yeah. And so whatever you give attention to, that's what starts to happen. So we're not going to give Trump any positive attention or negative attention in the fact that, oh, he might be it again, because no matter which way that can work for him, what we're going to do is focus on Biden and Harris and be overjoyed that they're there, that things are going to change. And that's where our energy is going to flow. And that's how we're going to get it. Because I had so many people telling me they were nervous about the election. I wasn't nervous. I claimed it out of the beginning. I said, no, this is going to change, because that evilness and stuff that he's doing can't survive, because right is going to always win out. Right's going to win. And it may take it some time, but it's going to win out. So I try to stay positive. I try to stay uplifting for other people as much as I can, and for myself and my kids. So I'm not going to pay attention to that, man. It's a Biden Harris show. It's going to be a show. And all y'all used to be black folk.
They still black, man.
They're not black, bro. I'm going to be Petty Pendergrass. I am so petty. I'm going to check in with them about once or twice a month and just let them know exactly how I feel about them. You know, I don't use the word coons and all of that. I think that's a little harsh, but used to be black folk. Used to be. No more homecomings for you. No more family reunions. You can't have none of this fried fish.
Need fried fish.
No tailgate.
No way.
Oh, I'm Petty Pendergrass. I'm gonna keep watching my Facebook page. I got at them today. I let them know. You thought I was gone. They got 4 years of me for this. They're gonna have 4 years of me. Even if he comes back, they're gonna have 4 years of me. I'm gonna give it. All right. So with that being said, those of you that are watching us, we thank you. We thank you. We thank you. You continue to watch us. Continue to hang out with us on the porch. Tell your friends and family. Join the Facebook group, Front Porch Discussions. We don't own the rights to this music. We don't go out like this, a little old school. Since we talk about old school, y'all make sure y'all join us on YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube page.
Okay, it's on YouTube.
My soldier Eric, my soldier Red Janai. Love y'all. Peace. Y'all have a good evening and good weekend.
Yes, sir. Do same.
Have a good one, everybody.
You know how we do, Janai. We stay a little bit and groove a little bit. Just a little bit.
Hey. Since we don't have no homecoming party.
Homecoming party, right? I'll talk to you later.
Bye, man. Bye.
Bye-bye.